Well, hello everyone, we're back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I'm your host, Remon Azab, aka Remon with TeamSkunk, and I'm bringing you another 7-star character review. This time we're going to be reviewing TIE Fighter Pilot, a much awaited 7-star character review for me. Been looking forward to putting this Empire team together for quite some time now. Got Shore Trooper from the squad tournament, was waiting for TIE Fighter Pilot to become farmable, and now he has been. And while I'm here at the EA studios over at Capital Games in Sacramento, I was able to get access here to a developer account, which gives me the ability to have a maxed out TIE Fighter Pilot, so I can take a look at what he looks like at max gear in battle, and we can go ahead and take a look at what that whole Empire synergy is going to look like when it's finally finished. So let's take a look at TIE Fighter Pilot. Empire attacker who inflicts buff immunity and gains foresight. We have him here on swgoh.gg. I'm going to take a look at his abilities now. His speed at 170 is pretty fast. I mean, that's the fastest base speed character I've seen. And at the 13k health pool, I mean, it's a pretty low health pool, but he does gain foresight quite frequently, which will protect him over time. Now, let's go over to his basic attack, which is targeting computer. Deal physical damage to target enemy and deal 35% more damage for each enemy suffering a debuff. Inflict tenacity down for 2 turns on a critical hit. Okay, this attack should do a decent amount of damage, and again, the Empire has been a team that's been in desperate need of a heavy attacker. This guy could be the answer. Now, as far as his special attack, his AoE, which is TIE Strike, has a 4-turn cooldown, and it's deal physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Inflict ability block on the primary target for 1 turn. So, again, he's going to inflict ability block on the target that you're actually focused on, but then he's going to do AoE buff immunity, much like B2 does. So that's a really great ability. There's just not that many characters in the game that do buff immunity in total, and being able to do that to all characters is phenomenal. It can prevent a character from taunting, getting offense up, a whole slew of different things that can position yourself great to win the match. Now let's go over to his unique, which is evasive maneuvers. At the end of each of his turns, for each debuffed enemy, TIE Fighter Pilot gains 10% turn meter and has a 35% chance to gain foresight for 1 turn. So for each debuffed enemy, he's going to gain 10% turn meter, and he has a 35% chance to gain foresight at the end of each of his turns. So at the end of each of his turns, there's a good chance that he's going to get foresight, which really is helpful considering he has a really low health pool to start off with. So TIE Fighter Pilot just was made farmable in the Cantina battles. Cantina Battle 4B for 10 energy, and from what I've noticed, the drop rate so far hasn't been phenomenal. Again, it should be relatively the same for all characters across the board, but I'm pretty close to having them at 4 stars right now, so it's going to be a little bit of a road till I get them maxed out, but I'm glad I have access here to take a look and see what we're in store for. So let's take a look at his gear. Now, TIE Fighter Pilot is not the worst to gear in the world, but let's take a look at where you get when you get to gear 7, gear 8. Okay, so once you're at gear 8, it looks like he needs a fusion furnace, an MK5 fusion furnace. At gear 9, he needs stun cuffs, he needs a Nubian design tech, a Nubian security scanner, and a Chedak Comlink MK4. At gear 10, he needs a thermal detonator. Actually, it's an MK6 thermal detonator. That's one of the new thermal detonators. He also is going to need an MK11 blast tech weapon mod and an MK9 Fabritech. So mostly new gear at gear 10, and then at gear 11 he needs a stun gun, he needs a biotech implant, and a couple other pieces. But really not the worst character in the world to gear up. He is going to need a nice amount of heavy gear to get to gear 10 from gear 9. So at gear 9 he needs 2 raid pieces, and then that Chedak Comlink is a pretty serious piece to get as well if you're farming it. He's also going to need the stun cuffs, of course, and the MK6 hypo syringes. So he needs a lot of gear to get from gear 9 to gear 10. At gear 10, this stuff is not the worst to get, although it depends on what level you're at and what you're farming. But some of this stuff is only obtainable through raids or through the shipments. So, you know, again, not the worst character in the world to gear from what I've seen here. 3 Rancor raid pieces to get to gear 10, which is not the worst. But let's go ahead and take a look at TIE Fighter Pilot here in the Cantina. So I've gone up and modded him. So we're going to take a look at the mods that I've equipped for him and why. Now I've decided to go with crit chance and crit damage sets for TIE Fighter Pilot. Again, he started off at a low health pool. Now with the mods I've equipped for him, he has a health pool of around, let's see, around 30, I'd say around 33, 34K, which is not the worst. He has a 204 speed, and I did not equip too many speed secondaries on him, so he can get a lot faster. That's only 34 increased speed from his base. 216% crit damage. I've gone with a lot of offense for him. That's why he has a higher physical damage. You know, he's at 3,173 physical damage, so he should hit really hard. His crit chance is at 46%, which is not horrible. Let's take a look at the mods I've equipped on him. So I went with a crit damage speed primary here for him with a crit chance secondary. Again, adding a little bit of protection because he needs that. I've gone with a crit damage primary here with the triangle, with a 4-speed secondary, and a little bit of offense to add to his damage. Now here I've gone with offense, again, because we want him to hit hard, because the Empire desperately needs somebody to hit hard. And then the rest is just protection and defense, because again, he's not got the greatest health pool, so he needs as much protection as he can get, and the defense helps as well, of course. So now we've gone with a crit chance set here. So for the crit chance circle, I've gone with protection as the primary and crit chance as a secondary. Here we've gone with, again, crit chance as a secondary and offense. And then here with offense, and then a 111 offense secondary here with a bit of potency. His potency should probably be increased as well because he does inflict that AoE buff immunity, but for the purposes of this video, I've decided to go with offense primarily. So at 54% potency, almost 55% potency, that should be good enough to inflict some buff immunity. So let's go ahead and take a look at TIE Fighter Pilot in battle. I have him set up here to do an arena match. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Hopefully he synergizes well with the rest of his Empire friends. I'm looking to see how these guys all work together. Okay, so TIE Fighter Pilot's going to be going first. First thing we're going to do is going to do the AoE buff immunity with a special TIE Strike. Okay, so deal physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he was able to hit a couple of characters here. Now he's going to go again because of the Palpatine lead, which gives him all the turn meter, and we're going to use his basic attack here, targeting computer, and he's going to do 35% more damage for each enemy suffering a debuff. So we have 4 enemies here suffering a debuff, so he should do 140% more damage right now. So let's go for IG-86 here and see how much damage he does. Okay, didn't quite get that, but let's go ahead and do a basic attack here. Actually, let's do an AoE stun here with Palpatine. Okay, now we're going to give critical hit immunity to all of our allies here with Shore Trooper, and then we're going to do an AoE here with Vader, which should take out, oh, no it didn't. But let's go for 5s here with Vader's Culling Blade and see what that does. 40k. Okay, so now we're gonna go for Geonosian Soldier here and try to give him a debuff. Okay, so now we're gonna go with somebody that has a lot of debuffs on them. We'll go with an attack on IG-86 here because he's going next and he does a lot of damage. Again, we're going to use targeting computer, his basic attack, and see what we can do here. 22k. Okay, that's pretty hard. Okay, so let's go ahead and use a basic here on HK47. Now we're going to use Tarkin's offense down ability on them, which should give him a lot of turn meter. And then we'll use a basic attack here on HK47. Okay, now we're going to do another basic attack here with Shore Trooper. Okay, and now we're going to use another basic attack here from TIE Fighter Pilot and see what he does to HK47. Actually, let's go for Qui-Gon. 22k. Takes him out. Okay. So let's keep working on HK47 and just chip away here. Okay, so the team does have a decent amount of viability together. Again, we're going to use an AoE here. All right, I'm going to use Palpatine's Health Steal. We're going to do a basic attack here with Shore Trooper. Oh. Vader takes him out, and that's that. So, as you guys can imagine, you know, definitely a great synergy with each other. You know, a great team to work with, and overall, just you know, as far as the Empire is concerned, this could bring some viability to them in Arena. I'm not sure what they're going to be like when I do actually get TIE Fighter Pilot finished, and hopefully there are some new Empire characters that get added to the team with the new Rogue One characters that are going to be coming in December and January. So, you know, definitely looking forward to adding some more Empire and seeing where that goes. But as always, you know, if you guys have any questions, come on over to teamskunk.com. You can send me a private message there. I'd love to hear from you. As well, you know, we're always looking for new members to add to our 30-plus guilds right now. We have guilds for all player levels, from early game to AAT Heroic. And we're looking for you know, great people that enjoy great community fun and like to chat with others. We have a lot of great guides and tools on our lordskunk.com website, so go check those out. But as always, I'll see you guys on the next one, and may the Force be with you.